The last video we had discussed about what is process builder. We understood what is workflow, and then we pretty much theoretically understood what is process builder. In this video we're gonna do a practical, and we'll see how process builder can help us to do different types of automations. Alright, so again, this is the requirement. Let's understand the requirement first, and then we will go inside the Salesforce, use process builder to automate that particular requirement. So this time the story is this. We have account object. Account is an object which is a standard object, and another object that is child of account is opportunity. So the requirement is account object has a field called status. Account object, suppose we haven't created the status field, we will quickly create. Suppose account has a field called status, and status has two values, own and lost. Account has a lot of opportunities, right? So account is parent, opportunity is child, right? So we have opportunity 1, we have opportunity 2, opportunity 3, right? Like that, one account may have multiple opportunities. An opportunity has a field called stage. Stage is pretty much standard field, right? And stage has so many value. One of the value in the stage is what is the closed own and closed lost. So closed own and lost. Now this is the requirement. Whenever some business user change the account status to, let's say, own, then automatically all the opportunities that we have under that particular account status will be own. Understood? Whenever for a particular account, if the status is changed to lost, right, then all the associated opportunities status will also be lost. Okay, this is the automations that we want to perform. See, this automation we cannot do it through workflow, because workflow can only perform the automations in the same record. Suppose there's a record which is getting created in the account object, and the status is own. You can actually update the same record, not a different record. This is where a process builder comes in the picture, where process builder will help you to update the opportunity whenever account gets updated. Not the one opportunity, all the opportunities. So whenever account status is own, if there are like hundreds of opportunity, every single opportunity stage will also be own. Whenever you change the status to lost, again, if there are 100 opportunities, every single opportunities stage would be lost. Alright, so this is the requirement. Now we're going to jump into Salesforce and implement this requirement. In order to implement this automation inside Salesforce, you have to go to setup and look for process builder as admin. And once you go to the process builder, you'll see here all the process builders that has been created so far, right? Let's create a new process builder. Give a name. This time I'm giving a name like update OPP based on account status. Okay, give some description, and then you have to choose here what. See, there are 3 events happen, right, in process builder. 1, record change. We have to go ahead with the first one, record change. After that we'll see the rest of the things, but a record change event is basically the process, this particular process name update OPP based on account status will be updated, will be invoked by Salesforce whenever a record gets changed, created or updated. That is all about a record change event, right? Click on save. Like workflow here, let's choose the object. you have to see a couple of options here. We're gonna figure out every single option that we have in this particular page, right? So first you select the object. So in which object you think we should write the process builder? You know the requirement, just recall the requirement. The requirement was whenever you change the account stage, all the opportunity stage would be automatically same, right? So where exactly you will write the process builder? This is something that you as an admin have to decide. Based on account type change, right? So whenever a change is happening inside account, you want to fire the process. So you have to write the process builder on the account object. I have selected account. So this is the workflow evaluation criteria, right? So when exactly the process will be invoked, when exactly the process will be started, this is what you have to define here. Whenever account record is created, or whenever a record is created or updated, you want to start the process. This is what you have to define here. If you go to advanced, there is one more option. Okay, let's understand this recursion thing. Okay, first read this line, then I'll explain you this. Recursion is basically, it allows the process to evaluate a record multiple times in the same save operation. Let's read whatever has been written in the I button. So it says that when this particular option recursion is selected, the process can be evaluated the same record up to 6 times in a same save operation. What do you mean by this same save operation? Let me tell you this. See, in Salesforce, we're gonna learn something called order of execution in the chapter called trigger, apex trigger in the development. But let me tell you something in gist, right? What happened eventually when you click on save button? There are so many things happen actually when you click on save button, right? The moment you hit on save button, whenever you're saving a data, there are few things happen in the backend. The validation tool fire, the trigger fire, the before trigger happen, after trigger happen, the auto response rule fire, the workflow rule fire, the process builder fires. You get it? So if you have, let's say, written before trigger, after trigger, validation rule, auto response rule, workflow rule, process builder for account object, then every single thing will be fired one by one. That's called order of execution. We will actually learn what exactly is the order of execution in the trigger chapter, but that's how it happened. Whenever you click on save button, it is not that simply it's saving the record. In the backend, whatever you as an admin or developer have written for that object called account, it will fire one by one. Okay, so now let's say this process builder is firing, suppose updating some record, and then after that there's a trigger that has been written, or there's a flow, or there's a workflow has been written, right, which is again updating the same record. It is possible, right? So when the second time it updates the same record, do you want the process builder to be executed again? Let me tell you this one more time. So in the order of execution, what we have seen is, suppose whenever you save a record, first your validation tool fire. We will learn about validation after this. So let's say you have written few validation, you're checking if type is this, then do this. If status of account is this, then show an error because status cannot be this. Whatever validation you have written, so it will fire first. Then your trigger, and then a lot of things will fire in the end, right? So here, let's say in the 5th or 6th step, your process builder is firing. After your process builder updates the record, suppose a trigger is getting fired, and that trigger is actually updating the record again. So in this case, process builder has updated the record. After that, let's say the trigger is also updating the record. Do you want the system to re-evaluate the process builder again after this trigger updation? You got it, right? This is what called recursion. If you want this to happen, then check this box. Or if you say no, whenever a record is getting saved, no matter how many things has been happening in the backend, my process builder is going to check only once. If that is the case, then you just uncheck this box called recursion and let it be like unchecked. Or if you want this to be checked every time whenever it gets saved, let's say for an example, you might have a question, right? When exactly you need this? Yes, let me give you a scenario. Suppose process builder is changing the status to lost. Okay, and then the trigger is getting fired. The trigger is changing the opportunity status as again on, right? Whenever it is on, let's say your process builder should fire again and do something. So in this case, it's the same transition. What do you mean by transition? When you click on save button, so many things happens in the backend. That's called one transition. In the transition, so many times the record is getting updated. If you want your process builder to recheck, to evaluate again based on the trigger updation, then you have to check this box. Yes, recursion. It is called recursion. Okay, I hope this explanation is pretty much clear to you. I'm not checking this box. As of now, I'm selecting the second one. When a record is created or edited, my process builder is going to get fired. All right, click on save. And now it's a high time for us to give a criteria. My process builder will fire whenever account gets created or updated. And it will check what? It will check what is our requirement. It will check if the account status is lost. If account status is lost, then I'm going to add few actions over here. Okay, but I think I forgot to create the status field only inside account. So what I'll do, I wanted you to see something. Okay, let me save this. I don't have anything, so I'm just not giving the criteria. Okay, see, whenever you go back, because you haven't given any criteria, you cannot save it, you cannot activate the workflow, the process builder. So let me go back to the setup, go to the object manager and go to the account. Quickly create a new field called status, account status, right? And status should be what? Picklist field. So click here, next, and status, enter the value on/lost. Okay, and that's all. Click on next. Saving this. So I have created a field called status, and the status field is a picklist field which has two values. One is lost, one is won. Now I'll go back to my process builder. I'll go to setup, go back to the process builder. One thing I have to show you here. Whenever you go back to the process builder, right? I think the second one is our process builder, which is inactive. Yeah, it is not yet active, right? Click on here. See, it is asking me to clone, correct? So whenever you pretty much edit, right? You cannot edit. See, workflow, we can edit and change anything we want. But process builder, if you want to edit, you have to clone that process builder first, correct? You have to clone the process builder and then you can edit. For me, I have not given the criteria yet. That's why it is allowing me to edit the same. I'm not talking about edit properties, by the way. Edit properties is all about you can change the name of the process builder. Okay, I'm talking about this entire process builder to be edited. So because I have not given any criteria, it is not asking me to clone and do this, because I can give the criteria here only. What was my criteria? My criteria was account status. See, account has a field called status. This field I did not create, so it would have not coming in, but after I created this field, it has come over here. Choose the field, and this account status equals to what? On. If it is on, by the way, you have to give a name. Okay, every criteria should have a name. Give a name. Name should be a status is on. Okay, that's the name. And I'm pretty much given my status is equal to on criteria. See, one more criteria I can give over here. Business might say that, just fire the process builder whenever account is getting created or updated, and also check if the status is getting changed. If the status of the account is changed and if the new value is on, then fire the process and do the automations. So how do you add the criteria called is changed? It's very simple. Click on add row, select the same status field, and once you choose it, there's an operator called is changed. These many operators are there, like starts with, ends with, contains is very helpful. Suppose sometime you have a criteria which you have to check, like if it is New York or New Jersey, if it contains new new, then fire the process. So you have to use contains, right? So I'm selecting here is changed and I'm making it true. So what does it mean now? It means this particular process builder will be invoked whenever account gets created or updated, and it will check if the status of the account is changed or not. If it is changed, then it will check if the new status is on or not. If it is on, then it will fire. Got it? So here in the criteria, either you can write some conditions, or if you know the formula, you can go here and write some formula. Or sometime what happened, we don't have to give any criteria. Sometime a process builder had some actions which supposed to fire no matter what. There's no criteria that you have to check. You simply fire the actions. If that is the case, then you have to go ahead with the no criteria. Just execute the actions, right? But in our case, we have to check if the status is getting changed to on or not. Clicking on save. Now my first criteria is given. If the status of the account is on, then do something. Do what? Let's get back to the requirement. Our requirement was whenever status is changed to on, I have to update all the opportunities. So go to these actions, right? I have so many actions here. Which one I have to choose? Any idea? Yes, I have to choose this update record one. So if you choose the update record, give a name. Everything should have a name, right? So the name should be update the OPP stage, update the opportunity stage. Alright, so I'm just adding the actions. Here I have to tell you something. Understand this record type thing. It is asking you whether you want the process builder to update the same account record which is being created or updated, or you want to update some other record apart from that. If you want to update the same record which has started the process, which means let's say I'm going to the account object and creating a new account and giving status as on. Now if you want to update that same record, you have to choose the first radio button. Or else if you want to update some different record, in our situation, yes, we have to update some different record. We have to update the opportunities of the account, then select the second radio button. Hope this is clear. Here you have to choose the opportunity. Search with opportunities, choose, right? Now my process builder knows whenever account status is on, update the opportunity status. I haven't given it yet, right? So I have chosen the opportunities, okay? And now I have to choose here what are the field in opportunities that you want to update, right? As per our example, I would just want to update the stage field. So select stage, and stage should be what? Stage should be on, close on, right? So here also one thing you have to know. If before you update the opportunity, suppose you have to check something in the opportunity. Suppose my requirement is whenever account is getting created or updated, if the stage is on, then you go on opportunity and check whether the opportunity stage is already closed on or not. If it is, do nothing. If not, if something else then close, then you go ahead and check it. Then in this case, what you have to do, you have to give a criteria. So you have to give the criteria here. Are you getting what I'm saying? Again, I'll repeat this, okay? My requirement is whenever account is getting created, if the stage is on, then all the opportunity stage would be automatically on, closed on. But before I change the opportunities to close on, suppose I have to check something, whether the opportunity close date is not today. If it is, then update the opportunity stage. If that is the case, then you have to click on this radio button and give the condition over here. What condition you want the system to check before the update? That's something you have to provide here. I'm not giving any criteria, just making it no criteria for just to make it simple. Now I have given the criteria and I've given the actions. I have defined the actions. I just want to update this stage, nothing else. If you want to update along with stage few other fields in opportunity, then just click on add row and keep adding those fields and values. Let me show you something here. If suppose opportunity and account has stage, okay, and has the value also exactly same, closed on in opportunity also, closed on in account also, correct? And you don't want to hard code this. Whatever the whatever the stage of account is, you want to populate the same thing here in opportunity. If that is the case, then you have an option called field reference. Just go to the field reference and select here the account status. You know what I mean? So what will happen now? Now whatever status that you have selected in the account will be coming and sitting into opportunity stage. You're not hard coding it, right? So I think you would be doing a trailhead where the trailhead will ask you to change the contact address based on the account address. What you'd be doing in the trailhead is basically you will check what is the account's address and the same address you want to populate in the contact. If that is the case, then you have to go ahead with the field reference. Alright, so I'm not going with the field reference. So we have these options. Picklist is I am selecting the existing picklist, or field reference, or global constraint. So you can actually define the global variable here in Salesforce, and if you want, you can repopulate the same thing as the stage, right? So, or you can write some formula. Formula is simple, right? So let's say with the stage, suppose you're updating something called total salary, and total salary would be salary plus tax, right? Salary is a field, tax is a field, and you want to calculate, so you have to choose the formula. All right, so this is pretty much simple. I'm just choosing the pick list and closed on save. All right, so I'm done with the first criteria. Now if the stage, when I'm creating a new account, suppose the stage I'm not making as own, stage I'm making as lost, then where do you go and define that? You have to come here. So if this is true, then this will happen. If this is false, then it will come here and check the second criteria. What is my second criteria? Status is lost. So same thing I'll do quickly. I will just go here, I will check the account status, use is equals to lost. If it is, then quickly come to the actions, update the record, update OPP stage as simple, select the record type. This time I'm selecting the same record type and selecting opportunities, right? I've chosen that. Now no criteria I'm selecting, just go and update the stage, right? So select stage, and what do you want the stage value to be? You want the stage value to be lost, because I'm checking what, if it is lost or not. That's it, simple. Now I'm done with the process builder. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate this now. Once you activate the process builder, then only the process builder will work. All right, so I'm just clicking on this activate button. Confirm. Activated. How do I test it? I'll quickly go to the account, okay, and create a new account. Give the name of the account as, let's say, testing process builder. Okay, this account has only name field, which is mandatory, and I'm creating a couple of opportunities under the account by them. First opportunity OPP1. Stage I'm making as a prospecting. Okay, check this out. Stage I'm making as prospecting. Save new, create one more opportunity, which is OPP2. Close date is something, and stage is again qualification. You getting me? Now see this account. This particular account named testing process builder has related two opportunities. One opportunity stage is prospecting, another opportunity stage is qualification. Now how do I test my process builder? What I will do is I'll go to this account and edit the account and change the account type. Not the type, what is the criteria? I think status, right? So check the status, change the status from something to own. What is going to happen now? The moment you change it to own, what's going to happen now? Yeah, can you guess what's going to happen? If I click on save, check this out. If I go to the related, right, see, my opportunities status also become closed on. It was prospecting and qualification, but because I had a process built in the backend, it changed to on. Alright, now I'm gonna go and edit the same account again, and I'll change the status from on to lost. What's gonna happen now? If you go and save, see the opportunity status become lost. You getting me? Again, I'll go here, edit it, change the status to on, save, become known. Right? So this is pretty simple, right? One process builder is there in the backend which is firing every time when you are editing, right? And is checking what is the account status. Is it lost? Is changing all the opportunity status as lost. So request to you is every single clicks that I have done here, the same requirement that we have done here, you also create the same thing. Create a field called status in the account, have two values called on and lost, have the same process builder created, give everything same, and see how it is working. Alright, so follow my video and you also please create the same thing. That will be really helpful for you to understand it in more detail. Okay, so see you in the next video with another example.